At long last, we're finally here. It's been over a decade, largely thanks to two shitty viruses, but I am finally covering the last of the Rankin Boss movies, and it feels incredibly hollow since most of these after Volume 1 have been mediocre or bad. But will these last 5 entries into the Boss of Rankin be able to break this curse? Let's find out.
Anime boobs and harassing Cynthia Diet Coke.
Oh great, another fucking Rudolph movie. Look, I get that the original Rudolph is a holiday classic, but did it really need to be milked to the point of not only multiple sequels, but also a crossover with the equivalent of Christmas anal beads enlarged and given life? Seriously? Anyways, this movie is about Rudolph and Frosty going to a circus, but gets involved in a mess of a plan done by some creature named Winterbolt, who wants to take over Santa Claus's territory, and also stop Rudolph because he's the only one who has the power to stop him. You know, like, except for guns, fire,
Piss.
So what makes Rudolph so special? Well, see, this film, which is connected to the original Rudolph movie because fuck it, adds in a retcon/change that Rudolph was given his glowing nose not because of a weird defect or poison ivy, but because of this fairy giving it to Rudolph with the stipulation of if he ever uses it for evil, even once, it goes away forever. Except for when Rudolph beats up Winterbolt later in the movie and gets it back. Oh, and also, the movie states that nothing is forever, indicating that the magic would go away eventually anyways, so even if he never used it for evil, it would go away anyways. Oh, so despite no longer needing the hat to stay alive as shown with Frosty's sequel, which is also somehow connected to this jumbled fucking mess thanks to his wife being here, and she was introduced in his sequel, Frosty is turned back into a non-living snowman after Winterbolt takes the hat. Yeah, the story is dumb if you couldn't tell. The pacing is incredibly slow, dragging its feet throughout the film to the point of boring me. And even when it doesn't add in stupid changes to the original films that came before this one, the new additions to the story, like Winterbolt's backstory and the plot involving the circus, aren't handled that well, because not only are they uninteresting and are boring, but the latter doesn't even feel like it has anything to do with Christmas or even the spirit of Christmas. I get that it's a Christmas in July, like the title states, but my issue isn't that it takes place in July and not December, it's that it doesn't feel like it has the spirit of Christmas at all. The story is shit. But how was the rest of the movie? Well, not that great.
How could I miss?
I don't know, how did you?
Six.
I already bitched about the slow pacing, but what about the crossover itself? How's the chemistry? Shit. Rudolph and Frosty's interactions don't feel natural at all, and the times where they do try and elevate/stick up for each other also suffer from this issue, i.e., Frosty giving up his hat to try and get Rudolph's magic back. It doesn't feel like a friend helping a friend to me, and instead feels like something checked off on a list, not helped by the already mentioned issue of unnatural chemistry between the two's interactions. Speaking of terrible, not a fan of the models used here. Colors aren't appealing to the eye, it lacks a lot of the charm the older movies had. Also, the animation is really stiff and not that good. Also, the songs fucking suck. But at this point, I can't even really express much shock at that, since this has been a recurring problem with his movies as time has gone on. So yeah, he may have had 2 eyes made out of coal and a very shiny nose, but it didn't take place in the snow, and the children know. To put it simply, this film blows.
After 10 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
Ever wanted to hear the story of Jack Frost being a human? No? Well, too bad. This movie exists, and he doesn't even stay a human at the end, and effectively just goes back to where he was at the beginning of the movie, except for a town of nobodies being saved and his love getting hitched to someone else. Also, the villain gets stopped in like 10 seconds thanks to falling debris and his robots getting laid off a cliff like lemmings. Fuckity fuck this story. Also, the models look like ass, music sucks, characters suck, nothing about this movie fucking works. There's not even anything to make a joke out of. This film is just boring and offers nothing of value. Legit, staring at paint drying was more interesting than this movie. At least with that, I could see the paint slowly change and evolve. So yeah, fuck this Frosty Jackass movie. God, that was cringe. Why the fuck did I write that?
Spider-Man!
A Pinocchio Christmas movie. All the things you could do with Christmas. You choose Pinocchio! Okay. So how is this movie? Well, you know how the last movie made me want to watch paint dry?
This movie made me want to fall asleep.
The characters are flat, the story isn't interesting, pacing is slow as molasses, the models look like sleep paralysis demons, and when I finished the film I felt like my time was wasted and I forgot what transpired. Great. So I guess the story is that Pinocchio wants to get Geppetto a gift, and then runs into a bunch of dumb shit before spending Christmas with his dad and giving him the gift of love. Also, he steals a marionette from the circus to try and make it a real person, because when I think of words that match up with holidays, theft is clearly one of them. Oh, am I kidding? That's most people on Black Friday. I know it feels like I'm rushing through this movie, and I probably am, but that's only because this film left so little of an impression on me, there's just not much for me to say. What a shame. Alright, what's next?
Hello, Peter.
Holy crap!
Am I being punked? Seriously? What the fuck does leprechauns have to do with Christmas? Do they need to hide their gold so they can use it to get a PS6? Alright, what's the story here then? Well, basically, an Irish soldier washes up on an island of leprechauns and manages to protect their gold from an evil witch before the witch gets washed away by a cel-shaded wave.
Cell shading, my one weakness.
But yeah, this movie just felt like a fever dream to me. It was strange, it didn't make any sense, and it felt incoherent. Sure, the models aren't sleep paralysis demons this time, but the models aren't that great here either. Same with the animation. Music is also forgettable. Same with the characters. This is yet another film that offers nothing of value to me positively or negatively, which sucks. But at this rate, I'm slowly accepting that this studio's track record is more bad than good when it comes to making holiday movies. Alright, one more, and then we're done.
He's got work to do. Of course.
It's another fucking Santa origin. Oh wait. It has the theming of a bunch of creatures discussing if Santa should be made immortal or not. That makes it much more important. Silly me. Ugh. Sad thing is, this is the best of the ones I've actually talked about in the last couple of installments, since it has a story I care about, models that look decent, good animation, and characters that don't make me hate everything and force out a terrible sigh/constipated sigh. Legit, this movie wasn't that bad to watch. Even the songs weren't that bad. It was a decent experience from start to finish. Would I watch it again though? If I had to choose between this and most of the catalog, yeah, probably. Although Santa Claus is Coming to Town is much, much better in every way. But yeah, that's pretty much all the Rankin Boss holiday movies. Santa Baby being one of their last productions. Speaking of which, saw that too. It sucked. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Overall, this whole look back was actually fun for me. At least in the beginning. As time went on, however, these films just kept getting worse and blander for me. But what's done is done. It's over. I would be angry or some shit about this outcome, but I already burned a lot of that, and you know what? I want to use the rest of that energy to spend time with my family. So, thank you all for watching. Have a happy holidays, and take care.
From this tiny Malaysian fishing village, these 16 Americans are beginning the adventure of a lifetime.